white ceiling, it just kind of gives me the ick now. What paint colour do you like? What are we thinking? I don't know the words. I'm just like, that's a nice colour, isn't it? Well, hi, welcome to my bedroom. Yes, this is my bedroom. And if you've seen my previous videos, you will have seen the absolute state of a renovation this has been. It's taken us 4 months, 4 whole months, just to get it looking like this. You can't see much of it, but you can see plastered walls, you can see mist-coated walls, you can see something that's starting to like form the shell of a room, but isn't quite there yet. So I thought this would be a great point to talk you through the decor in here, what we're thinking paint colours, wallpaper, coving, everything. Everything you need to know about what's going to happen in this room is right in this video. So let's crack on, shall we? The first things I want to show you are the details that are going to go on the wall before the paint. So before we even think about painting, we have to think about woodwork, skirting boards, architrave, ceiling roses and coving. This is a Victorian house, and so you wouldn't normally have all of those details in any other house from a different era, but as it's a Victorian house, a period home, I want to add some of those details back. As you may have seen, we couldn't keep the original coving that was in here, no matter how hard I tried. Weeks and weeks and weeks of graft to try and restore the original coving here, but we ended up having to rip it down. Yeah, we had to rip it down off the ceiling, we had to take the whole ceiling down, so we lost that original detail. It was too damaged to restore. I can't bother to go into it, watch the other video to catch up, but it kind of is a silver lining to me because it's opened up a new world of slightly more ornate, prettier coving. So let me show you the first detail that's going to be going on these walls very, very soon. Ooh, right behind me, you can see, I've got these long lengths of coving or cornicing. I actually don't know the difference between coving and cornicing, but this one, have I got it upside down? No, that's the right way. This one is a very ornate Victorian style with the leaf and the little dots and the little ridges. So this one is by WM Boyle. They have kindly sent me a whole pack of this to put in our bedroom, which I cannot wait to get up. I love a dramatic coving. I love anything a bit dramatic and over the top. Since I moved into this house, I've got like a real, like, I don't know, itch for like drama in every room. So I love to like put things on the ceiling, put things on the walls, put in fireplaces, like old stuff that I normally wouldn't care about in any other house. I really care about in this house. And as you may have noticed, this is like a 2 meter length and I'm just like holding it with one hand. It's lightweight polyurethane. Is it polyurethane or polythene? I can't remember. I think it's polyurethane. But the beauty of modern materials and modern fabrics is that you can get that stunning like plaster look, that sort of traditional plasterwork vibe, but in these lightweight materials that are cheaper, easier to fit. So you can DIY fit this. You don't have to use like heavy nails, screws, or like proper strong coving adhesive. You can just put it up with like a good grab adhesive, obviously a good one. But yeah, this stuff is good stuff. So this is what's going to be going all around this room. This is our main bedroom. So we're also renovating our spare room at the same time, which is behind this wall. You can't see it right now. You used to be able to see it. You used to be able to look straight through there because there was no wall. So this one, this is the option for this room. Then for next door, let me grab it. We've gone slightly less dramatic. We've gone for, I don't know if you can see the difference in size there, but a much smaller one in our spare room, which isn't going to be used that much. We didn't want to go all out. We just wanted something quite simple, but still having that detail in. This is what they call an egg and dart style. So you've got like basically an egg and a dart going along the bottom there. And again, a very traditional sort of Victorian-y style. This is from Screwfix. This is like cheap. I think it's £75 for a pack of 6 2 meter lengths, so it is a real affordable option, which is why we got it. It's quite slim, again lightweight. It's that same polyurethane material, so no heavy plaster work going on next door, especially on new ceilings which are plasterboard. I was kind of a bit not worried, but I didn't want to get into like sticking like heavy plaster onto plasterboard and risk it kind of potentially coming down or causing damage. So lightweight is a safe, easy option for this. So this sort of ornate style of coving cornicing is going to be up in our main bedroom here and next door. Then we will be painting this. Yes, I'm going to be painting it, colour drenching it to match the rooms. Let's pop that down. So as you may have seen in a lot of the decor in this house, I'm a colour drench girly. I love to colour drench everything. I like colour drenching skirting boards, walls, ceilings, ceiling roses, any detail, fireplace surrounds, all painted one colour. I don't really like to have a white skirting board or a white ceiling. That's absolutely fine if you want to do it in your own house. I'm not criticising that. But for me, I just think it looks so much more grand and expensive and fancy if everything's one colour. A white ceiling, it just kind of gives me the ick now. When I walk into someone's house and they've got like a very deliberate white ceiling, I just go like, why did you do that? Like, did you actually think about why you've done that, or have you just done that because you're told that's what you do with a ceiling? It has to be white. And I'm guilty of that. I used to be a white ceiling girly. I used to paint my ceilings white because I was like, you can't possibly paint it another colour. Turns out you can, and I will. So while we're talking about paints, why don't we get into colours? Why don't we get into samples? I've got quite a few here and some samples I haven't actually tried out yet. So this is going to be a first. And I'm actually going to start with the spare room because I've got those colours to hand. So next door, I really want to go for like this rich red. This is Lick Red 03, a really popular colour that you've probably seen in lots and lots of houses on the internet. What I like about it is that it's sort of rich and deep, but it's also light. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's not a heavy dark red. It's like a light, dusty, airy red. Dusty is normally not a look that you want to go for, but for me, I'm a big fan. So that is going to be, or something similar to that is going to be on the walls next door. Similar to that, I've got Dulux Heritage colour cards here. I've been looking at red sand, which is this one, which you can see, hopefully you can see that, is kind of similar to the red 03. So very similar. I'd say this is a bit more orangey. The red sand is a bit more of an orange tone, but I really like them both. Again, like rich, but light and airy. Next door isn't the lightest room. It's on the back of the house. We're an east facing garden, which means we're a west facing front. So we get the sun in the front of the house in the morning, which is what this room is in. We get it on the back of the house in the afternoon. So during most of the day, it's not too light in there. There's only one window in the back corner. So I didn't want to go for something obvious, like, oh, it has to be white or it has to be beige because it has to be light and reflect the light. I wanted to go something that had a colour that had strength, but also still felt light and airy and not heavy and dingy and dark. I didn't want like a navy blue or a heavy red. So potentially one of these colours. I've also been looking at Yes Colours, who I love. I don't think it's actually on this colour card chart they sent me, but they've got a similar one. No, I don't think it's on it because it's a new colour, but it's called Dirty Red, and I'm obsessed with it. It's very similar to the Lico 3, but it is, again, a lovely, just like, rich but light and invigorating red, which I'm really, really looking forward to hopefully using next door. One of those colours, one of those three possibly, unless I can find another good dupe. It's a really popular colour at the moment, so I'm sure there are plenty of dupes out there, so I'll find the good one. Now, let's move on to this room, the room I am sitting in, and rather than start with paint, I'm going to start with wallpaper, because the wall behind me, you can't really see the expanse of it, but it's one big blank wall. This is where the head of our bed is going to be, just here. The bed is actually in that cardboard box over there. It's been here for a lifetime. I think we ordered it in January. It's now June and it's still in a box in the corner. So I can't wait to get her out. But the bed head wall is going to be wallpapered. And I have got some stunning samples here to show you what I'm thinking. And then you can try and guess what colour I'm going to put with it, which is not the Red 03. That's next door. What we're going to have in here. Let's have a think. So these are all from Rebel Walls. I've worked with Rebel Walls before, and I will probably, full disclosure, be working with them again on this renovation. But they've sent me some samples of papers, and you'll be surprised to see, as you know, I'm quite a colourful person, colourful girly pops. But in here, the wallpaper is going to be monochrome. It's going to be one of these monochrome babies. And that's mainly because the rest of the room is going to be colour drenched in a very rich, vibrant colour. So I wanted something to contrast. I mean, I love black and white. I am a Corella de Vil at heart. Like, black and white is like that contrast of the monochrome black and white I love. So I wanted a paper that was dramatic, but sort of pared back in its colour scheme. So I'll start with the ones that I'm not going for. So this one, which is the Serpentine. God, why couldn't I read then? Come on, Leah Michelle. Love the kind of swirly, swishy pattern. Obviously, this is going to be a huge stretched out wall mural across the whole breadth of this wall. So this is just a zoomed in piece. So that's not like the whole pattern. That is just one sample of like a massive pattern. So I like the swirly sort of watercolory washiness, but I didn't like that it's too grey. It's very dark, as you can see, grey on grey. So I'm not a grey girly. That's a no. And then similarly, a sort of watercolour swishy pattern, but too light, too beige, not a strong enough contrast for me. I need the drama. As much as I like that one, I think that's probably more suited to someone who wants a more muted, you know, beige home. It ain't me. Then this one I loved, really rich contrast, as you can see, strong contrast, but too blue. Didn't want blue. I wanted definite black and sort of a definite white or off-white. So this is the Waves in ink. It's very blue to me, so that's a no. The last two contenders were these two. So this is Stripes Repeatable and Wiggle Shapes, which were both kind of perfect for me. So you can see this is one is like a chalkier, sort of more pencil graphite drawing style, and this one is like an inky paint splodge style. I was really drawn to this one initially, really drawn to this one. Again, the Inna de Ville, this is what she wanted. But I have actually chosen this one. I do think this is going to be for a bedroom. Not that it needs to be soft. I don't believe a room needs to be any version of anything. It needs to just be what you like. So if you want a bedroom that's like head to toe fucking leopard print, go for it. If you want a bedroom that's plain white, go for it. But I wanted something that was like dramatic and big, but still had like a softness to it. Whereas this was very hard. You know, those like strokes are very hard. I wanted this, it feels quite swishy and swirly, and I quite like that. And I think there's more white in this versus that one, where that's predominantly black. So I think the whiteness in this will do me a good, will just kind of, I don't know, add a bit of lightness to the room, but still with the pattern and the texture of the graphite sort of style strokes I really like. So Stripes Repeatable, black and white, you are a winner. This is going to be the mural that we're going to have on the wall in here, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be floor to ceiling. Oh, it's going to be stunning, surrounded by that like nice coving and skirting board, which I haven't actually spoken about. I'll come to that. But it's just going to look really dramatic, but still be quite soft on the eye, if that makes sense. I feel like it makes sense in my head and the vision comes together at the end. And maybe I'm not explaining it well, but this was a winner for me. I was very much drawn to it. And when the sample came, I was like, yeah, girl, let's get it. So Rebel Walls, here we come. Watch this space. Very much excited for this to go on the wall very soon. And I just mentioned skirting there, and I just wanted to show you this little sample that I got. So that you have on this side, you've got the normal OG. I don't know if you can see that profile very well, but it's just like a traditional Victorian skirting style that's flat and has one little bump coming up the top there. Just one big fat bump boy there and a little one at the top. But I'm going for OG2, which we've had throughout our whole house. Every other room, hallway, space that has skirting board in this house, we have OG2, which means you just get like a smaller bump and two bumps at the top. It's a bit more dramatic, a bit taller. So we go for this in 22 centimeters high, which sounds quite high. Normal skirting boards, people get like, I don't know, like 8 centimeters, and I'm like, double it. And again, we've got really high ceilings in here. So this room, I think, is about 270 something centimeters. A normal ceiling height, I actually don't know what it is. I think about 220, 230. So we've got a lot of height in here. So that high skirting board helps show off that height in the room and feel really grand. If you had like a little 8 centimeter skirting board in a room that was this tall, it would just get lost and you wouldn't see it. So I really like to go for high drama. So we're going for high drama with the OG2. And of course it's Victorian style. This is a Victorian house. So you get that Victorian sort of style and flair that you get in sort of the etching of the wood there. If you lived in like a newer house, like a lot of new builds or more modern homes, you see they have quite flat skirting board, quite plain, which in our old house we lived in, which was like I think it was a 1950s council house that had been bought and renovated. And obviously it's mid-century, you don't get these sort of like ornate details, and it had been gutted and it was just basically a white box. So smooth skirting board kind of made sense in that house, but in this house, you will not see a smooth skirting board anywhere. I want trim, I want pattern, I want texture, I want flair, I want drama. So OG2 it is. And actually one other thing I forgot to show you, which is a key piece of information for this room, is the ceiling rose. Now, I showed you the coving or cornicing, whatever you want to call it, in that lovely lightweight polyurethane, which means you can slap it up super easy. The ceiling rose is very much the same. Let me show you. Oh, she's in a box behind me. Oh, she's quite big actually. Let me get her out the box for you. Whoop. Now this is just 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10 actually for me. This was an Amazon find. So you can buy it loads of places. Amazon, eBay, The Range I've seen it, B&Q I've seen it, loads of different shops. It's just one brand and you can kind of get it stocked anywhere, so you can compare price and find the best bargain. And I bloody love these because, again, they're so lightweight. Like, that's just, I can hold it with one hand, no problem. That is a 71 centimetre diameter ceiling rose. And you may or may not know a lot about Victorian houses or period homes of any kind, but Victorians loved like a floral leafy print. So they were like very into greenery and leaves, especially ferns and things like that. I learned that quite recently. I went to the Botanical Gardens in Belfast. There was a whole bit about ferns and how Victorians loved ferns. So you get a lot of this like swirly, curly fern leaf patterning stuff. But ceiling roses, I actually don't know why they were invented. I think they were invented to cover, I'm trying to think, the hole in the ceiling where you would have a light fitting, in the same way coving is meant to cover the join from like your ceiling and your main wall, so you don't see like the line around there before like good plastering was a thing. Ceiling roses, I guess, were to cover the holes that light fittings made in your ceiling. I don't know, but they are pretty. We've got some original ones downstairs in this house. We're in the lounge. We've still got the one remaining Victorian original ceiling rose in this house, which is sort of a leafy pattern, not too dissimilar to this, not quite as big and ornate, and not exactly the same as this, but similar leafy natural nature pattern. So when I saw these online, they were £83 each, I think, which obviously isn't cheap, but considering what real plaster ceiling roses cost to buy and then to have installed, which is hundreds, this is a real bargain in comparison. And I can DIY fit these. You just put some like grab adhesive on the back. You might want to put a few little nails in it just to like, stop gravity doing its thing. But they're super easy and lightweight to fit. And just that detail, so beautiful. So if I can show you that a bit closer. But yeah, just that incredible detail, stunning. So one of these will be going in this room and one of them will be going in the spare room. I just bought two of the same for both rooms, and I'll be painting those colour drenched to match the ceiling. So they will blend in with the ceiling. It won't just be like a big white circle on the ceiling, but you'll still get that beautiful like depth and texture, and just makes it feel really fancy, really bougie. When you have one of these in a bedroom or any room, I think you just walk in and go like, oh, this person's fancy, this person's got money, even though it's a really cheap dupe. So it's just a little trick to make your room look a little bit more bougie if your house is of the appropriate style, I would say. I mean, it's up to you. Stick them where you want. Stick them in your new build if you want. Like, I'm so for that. But like, obviously they suit a period home a bit more. If you've got a Victorian home or a Georgian home or an Edwardian home, you'll probably see ceiling roses in there. And if you don't have one, you can buy them really cheap. Okay, now let's talk paints for this room. We are going green. We're going green. And not just any green. Well, actually, let me try out some samples first, see if you can guess which one we're going for, and then I'll confirm. So full disclosure, I'm going to be working with Little Green on the paint for this room, and I'm very excited because I reached out to them because I saw this specific green online and was like, that's the green. Me and my partner really like the same colours. We're very fortunate in the sense that we both have similar tastes. We both like colour. It's not this battle of like one of us going like, please paint it beige, and me going, please paint it bright pink. And I know a lot of people think that like girls just do everything and men don't get a say and blah, blah, blah. Boring, boring, boring. But in this household, it's a very open discussion and we have very similar tastes. We both like colour. But yes, Little Green have sent me some samples of their green paints, specific ones that I've chosen, so I could test them out next to each other. So let's do it together. So the three they've sent me are Olive Colour, 72. They've sent me Sage Green, 80, and Jewel Beetle, 303. I can't say that. Jewel. It's the Essex girl and me coming out. Jewel Beetle. And now, for the first time, I'm actually going to try out these samples. So I'm going to be dipping the brush from one to the other. So let's see how the truer sample we get. But this is the Sage Green. Get her on the paper and I will show you these next to each other in a sec. That is a really nice green, but it's a beigey undertone. It's quite a neutral, not vivid enough for me in terms of colour, and I know it's still drying, so it's not the truest representation, but I can look at that and already go, oh, not for me. This is Jewel Beetle, which is way more up my street, a really vivid, oh God, that's a beautiful colour. It's kind of like grassy green, but not too neon, not too in your face. Big fan of that. It's a bit like, not khaki, but it's kind of got that earthiness to it, which I quite like as well. And then olive colour. Let's have a look at her, what she's saying. Okay, oh yeah. Olive colour is very similar, but not quite as grassy. I would say it's kind of more of a, it's less earthy, less grassy, and more like green, but not forest green. I don't know how to describe it. I'm shit at like describing things in any real way because I'm not an interior designer. I don't know the words. I'm just like, that's a nice colour, isn't it? Like that one, but that's what's coming to mind. So let me see if I can show you these. Oh, I just got it in my hand, of course did. Don't know how well they're going to show up on paper, but you've got sage green there, jewel beetle, and olive colour. Now this one for me, sage green is just not a me colour. It's too, it's not that it's bland, it's that it's just a bit beigey browny undertone, and I want like a slap in the face of bright colour, which is not her. Jewel beetle I really like. It's a bit more like a grassy, not in your face green. It's got, I don't want to say neon green because it's not neon. What are the words? It's just a brighter green. It's kind of got like those zingy green, yellowy undertones. Olive colour, I think, is the winner for me. I mean, I already know it's the winner. I knew it was the winner when I saw it online, but it's green, it's alive, but it's not, not going to walk into the room and be like, wow, that's bright green. Wow, that's forest emerald green, whatever. That's grass green. It's just going to be a nice bright colour. Again, deep and rich, but light. that's how it's in my brain at the moment. That's how it's working. Olive colour. She's the winner. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to get this whole room colour drenched in the lovely little green olive colour. I'm so excited to get that one. Imagine that rich green. This one here, but on the ceiling rows, on the coving, on these plastered walls. I'm so excited for that colour. This is kind of shit I get excited about. Some people get excited about, I don't know, Pokemon or clubbing. I don't. I get excited about paint colours and colour. This room is going to look stunning. And as I said, this room is a west facing. This room gets the light in the morning. So we've got two big windows. You can't see them either side across from me, and the light in the morning comes in here. This is why this is the perfect main bedroom. We've got a stunning loft room upstairs, which many of you have seen probably from across our renovations. And a lot of people ask me, like, why don't you just move up there? Why don't you want to live up there? And it's a lovely room. I bloody love it up there. I love living up there at the moment. It's such a nice, comfortable room. But two things, you've got slopey ceilings, which obviously means you hit your head a few times because that's just what happens. Two, because of that, you don't have that feeling of tall ceiling that you do get in here, which just makes it feel really big and grand and vast. Three, the dimensions of this room are great. So I haven't actually mentioned the dimensions, but I think it's about 5 meters by 3.5, 4 meters that way. I'll pop something up on screen to show you the exact dimensions, but it's just a really good size room. I'm really spoiled with a bedroom this big. I've never had a bedroom this big in my whole life. Even when I shared with my sisters back in the day, our bedroom wasn't this big. So we're really blessed with the dimensions in here. And along with that, it just gets stunning light in the morning. So you're going to lay in bed, big tall ceilings, big fancy details, light pouring through the windows, space everywhere. Oh, she's 36 and it shows. It really shows. So yeah, when this is done, it's going to be a beautiful bedroom. So please come back and watch it be done because there's so much to do, as you can see. Or you can see that's drying down a bit now. You can just see how much more. I mean, in my eyes, that one stands out so much more. It's kind of got that like green, like punch, but without being in your face. So now we've done paint colours. I want to show you a few more physical things I bought for the room, like actual finishing touches, details that are going to bring this whole scheme together. And you'll see, hopefully, as you see everything come together, you'll see the vision come to life, and you'll see where like the train of thought is going. It's not just like a sporadic, like I like that paper, I like that paint, although that is very much my process. You'll see how it all ties together when I show you these pretty little things. So it's not just paint that makes a room, it is all the hardware and bits and bobs that you have within it that kind of add to that premium look and feel. And I am very much a budget renovator, so I don't spend a lot of money on much. If I do spend a lot of money on something, it is with great thought and great intention. I don't have a lot of expensive designer things. I wish I could go to Soho Home and load up and kit my room out with that, but I don't. Oh, hello, sir. You want to come and say hi? Oh, there's a little meow. And this boy also lives here. Say hello, Atlas. Hello. He just wants to get involved. He wants to be on camera. This is his moment. What paint colour do you like? What are we thinking? Oh, none of them. Right, okay, good sign. Anyway, so let me show you a few details and you'll see a run-in pattern and theme through these. So we have got traditional column radiators, which I always buy on eBay because that's where they're cheapest. And actually these are from eBay too. So these are the radiator valves, the same ones we have throughout the house. And I don't go for white plastic ones because obviously I don't. Why would I do that? I want something a bit shiny. I like decor that sits like just straddles the line of tacky, like gold. I don't really go for silver or chrome. I always go for gold. And our radiator valves are no different. So these are sort of slightly traditional copper and brass coloured radiator valves. I think they're called like traditional school radiator valves. So if you ever went to like a school that had like ancient big column radiators, you probably had valves like this. And I like, again, the traditional style period home. Oh, no, no, he's trying to jump up on the table. Atlas, this is not the time. Ah! I told you want to be involved. Sir, please, this is a Wendy's. So if you went to a very old fashioned school, maybe in a city that was a Victorian school, old brick building, I didn't. I went to one of those like mid-century porter cabin schools out in Romford. But if you went to a nice old school, you might have had ones like this. So we've got these throughout the house. They're really affordable. I think they're like $24.95 per pair on eBay. But yeah, that's where I get all my radiators and radiator valves. They're cheapest there, but the quality is still really good. Like these are tried and tested throughout our house over the past 4 years. So I know to always come back to these for good value and good performance. So big fan of those. So a little bit of brass coming through there, as you can see. So picture this with like the vivid olive green, the black and white swirly wallpaper, and then the doors are going to be oak. So I don't tend to paint the doors. Also, the original Victorian doors that were here were not nice. They were not nice enough to restore. I know people are like, get them dipped, save them. One, I don't want to spend my life sanding and painting doors because I've done it once and fuck me, it zaps your life away. I just haven't got the energy for it anymore. And two, the doors we did have were not in good enough condition to restore without spending a small fortune, but they have been replaced in a 4-panel Victorian oak finish style. So they look very in keeping with what would have been here. So don't judge me. The old doors are gone, new doors are in, but they're still going to look traditional and still be sympathetic to the age of the home. And to go with said doors, we've got these beehive style brass doorknobs. They are very shiny. That's the first time I got them out. I'm like, whoa, they are gold, but they're really heavy actually. Nice heavy quality. But I go for doorknobs because, again, traditional style. This is what they probably would have had back in the day. And I just really like anything with a bit of texture, a bit of drama again. So I like the ridge you get in these door handles. So they're going to be gleaming on the beautiful sort of traditional style oak doors. Stunning. And I also have gold hinges that go with those. So we like to coordinate. I want everything to match. Yes, so we go for the brass door hinges as well. Just simple. Sort of like a satin brass. They're not like high shine. They're just quite like satin, sort of not dull. What's the word? Muted, maybe. They're just not reflective. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have the gold accents running throughout, and I'll have like gold light fittings probably. Actually, I do have one big gold light fitting to show you, and I've got a gold mirror to show you actually. So let's get into those. But before I actually show you the mirror and the light that I was just talking about, which are again 10 out of 10 and budget, I want to show you these are, so you may have seen the video, and if you haven't, I will link it on the screen somewhere, but these are the original Victorian finger plates that came off the original doors that were in here. So there was one over there that was on a shitty old cupboard, but they somehow retained the original Victorian finger plate, and on the main door into the room there's a finger plate too. So these are a beautiful historical feature, although they don't look their best right now. But finger plates were a thing in the Georgian era. So that's when they first came about, and then they carried on well into Victorian and Edwardian era. So if you've got a period home or you visit a period home, you may notice something like this on the doors. And they were to stop people, getting finger marks on nice wooden doors. It's really overkill. Like the thought of having something like that as a feature on a door now, I love, but we would just never have because we'd be like, we'll just wipe the door down. But anyway, they had them to stop people's grubby fingerprints getting all over the doors. And I managed to take them off the doors. I paint stripped them back, wipe them down. This is the best I've got them, but I have yet to finish the restoration process. So I'm going to try like Brasso or some sort of brass scrub on these. They come up brass, and I'm going to attach them to our new door to add a little bit of original Victorian flair to the new doors. So not all is lost. We have kept some features from this room of what it was. And I'm really, really happy and proud that I managed to salvage these, because I think they're going to be such a beautiful and unique feature, and such like a little detail that you won't jump out at you, but you'll see and be like, that's fancy. That is fancy, that. So yeah, I don't know where to put these. I think I'm going to put them both on the entrance door, or maybe on the inside of the door in here and the spare room. Not sure yet, but we've got to watch this space because I'm yet to finish that process. Now let me show you the two pieces of actual furniture decor that we've actually bought for the room. I had to buy them early, even though like we're nowhere near the stage of fitting, finishing touches, but I bought them early because I just couldn't not, because I loved them that much. There she is. Now, the first thing to show you is this beautiful ceiling light that I got from H&M Home. It comes with, obviously, these globes for each of these little arms, but I'm not going to do all 5 because I can't be bothered. But it's kind of like mid-century style, I would say, actually, but it ties in with the brass running theme throughout the room. And it's kind of got a traditional vibe with like the globes, with the chandelier shapes. It's like a mixture of the eras that I love. I love mid-century furniture. I love mid-century decor. But I also love period decor. So this is like me in a light fitting, the blends of the two worlds. And it comes with a lot of spare wire, as you can see, but it's height adjustable. So obviously we won't be having it that long. We'll be having it, you know, long enough that it's dramatic, but that it doesn't hit our heads. I love that it's got like the brass rose detail. One thing I hate, sorry to this man if this is you, but a white plastic ceiling rose I can't deal with. Like if you move into your house and that's what you've got, or you're renting or whatever, or it's a go-between, or it's cheap and easy, fine, go for it. But I personally would go around and change those immediately to just any other colour, because I think that elevates a room massively. Like just a little bit of colour or a flash of metal on the ceiling rose rather than white plastic makes a big difference. But usually you, and I'll do me. But yeah, this is the ceiling light. So she's very dramatic and a bit retro and just fun. And I just really liked it. I said earlier I didn't buy a lot of expensive stuff. This is probably one of the most expensive things I bought. I got it with discounts. It was just over £100, which I normally wouldn't pay for a ceiling light in any other room. But it's our main bedroom. It's the pièce de résistance. And I've got so many bargains so far that I was like, do you know what? I loved it so much. And I've been searching for a brass ceiling light / chandelier for this room for ages. The amount of nights I've laid up Googling it in bed and not finding the right one. So when I came across this one, I was like, I have to buy it because I've never seen a light that I've wanted so much compared to anything else I've seen for this room. Like just imagine this, see the vision, feel the vision with me. The gold, the black and white, the green all together. I just think it's going to be magnificent, I hope. Out of my little head and into the real world. Let's see what happens. So that is the ceiling light. And the final thing I want to show you before it gets too dark in here is this. Oh, she's heavy. This mirror. You're just going to see the phone reflected back at you now. But this is from the range. Another thing I just saw and was like, I'm obsessed with her. Oh my God, you're probably going to see all the shit on the floor, like the vacuum, all the Reno crap over there. This is renovation reality, guys. This is what the room looks like. But I saw this on the Range website and I've never hit add to basket so quick. I love like, oh, the bubble wrap is popping. I love the little bobbin detail. I like that it's a bit like, I don't know, it's just jazzy. It's jazzy, but the gold's quite muted. It's kind of like, looks a bit rustic and antique-y. So I love that, but the style is very modern. So this is going to go on the big wall over there above the fireplace for a little dramatic effect. This was such a find. It's from the Range, and it was, I think it was like £37.99. I think the postage in total was just over 40 quid. But it's an 80 centimetre mirror, 80 centimetres, and it was 40 quid with postage. I mean, if you know anything about buying home decor mirrors, you know mirrors can be hundreds of pounds. So this, full price, £37.99, 40 quid with postage, couldn't not. So excited to see this. See the chandelier reflecting in this? Yes, please. 100% yes, please. And to go with all that decor, I can't get it out of the box, but we've got a bed, a velvet bed that's like a rusty, reddy, orangey colour, like terracotta-y, not too like, whoa, orange in your face, but again, just like colourful, punchy, strong. And that is going to sit against the green, against the gold, against the black and white so beautifully. I like to mixed colours and patterns, but I'm not like a pattern girly who wants like kitsch, retro, stripes everywhere, bows everywhere, prints, florals everywhere. I'm not like a print girl, but I am like a pattern, a large scale mural, and like punchy colour girl. So that is all going to come together in this room. I'm so excited. So 4 months in, hopefully in another couple of months, I'm going to say 3 months to get this room finished. And that includes like everything, carpet, furniture, finishing touches done in this room. Hopefully in 3 months, you'll come back and you'll be looking at a finished room. You'll be looking at wallpaper behind me, not just like blank white miscoated wall. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little walk through the vision inside my head, how it's coming to life, what we're thinking, what we're looking at, and hopefully it all measures up and matches up eventually in a couple of months' time, and you'll be coming back to see the finished space. If you have any advice on anything, any feedback, any thoughts, anything that you're like, oh, that would make it a little bit better, or add a bit of that, that'd be nice, then please do let me know. And if you enjoyed this and you want to see more about our bedroom renovations or the rest of the house renovations, we have renovated from top to bottom, and these are the last rooms. There's plenty to go back and watch. Please subscribe, have a look at my vids. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at Sharn's house. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. See you very soon.